All right, so 2-minute Tanya tidbit for today. So today's Tanya, being the portion that was the year that it was divided, the portion for Shabbos is a little bit of a longer chapter, as every Wednesday is the rest of this year. Now, in this parak, we're in the middle of up to chapter 13, where in the previous 12 parakim we established who a Beinani, who a Tzaddik, and who a Rasha is, and now we're finally able to answer some of the questions in the first parak. And we already answered part of them, and now we're going to be able to answer a few more of them. And in this parak, we're going to explain the idea of what we asked in the first parak. In the first parak we asked, it says that a person is supposed to think of himself as a Rasha. Even if the whole world tells him that he's a Tzaddik, he should think of himself as a Rasha. We said this contradicts other places, which says you're not allowed to think of yourself as a Rasha. And if you think of yourself as a Rasha, you're going to become all depressed. Now we're going to answer that question. As we established previously, that what is a Beinani is somebody who has the bad still fully in his heart. He's not like a Tzaddik. About a Tzaddik it says, V'libi chalal b'kirbi, that he has no bad within him at all because he totally chased it out through fasting. He became a total Tzaddik that has no bad within him at all. But a Beinani's essence still has the essence of the bad within him. The Nefesh Bahamas is still in there. And if anything, it got stronger throughout the time that he was eating and he was involved in this world, so it keeps on getting stronger and stronger. And now we can explain what it says that you should think of yourself kirasha, meaning don't think of yourself as an actual Rasha, that you do sins, because you know you're not a Rasha. You're a Beinani. You're somebody who doesn't actually do sins. But think of yourself kirasha, like a Rasha, meaning just like a Rasha still has bad within him, you should also think of yourself as somebody who has bad within you. Don't trust the world who says that you're already a tzaddik, that you have no bad within you and you totally got rid of it. Because if so, you're going to say, oh, I'm done with my service, and you're never going to work on purifying the bad which is still within you. Rather, you should think of yourself as a Rasha, meaning you're like a Rasha who still has bad, you still have more work to do to fully purify the bad within you. And this is true about any Beinani. Even somebody who learns and davens the whole day. It could be that he's doing everything properly, but still he has bad within him a little bit deep down. It could be that there's still bad, even if it's not active, and the whole day he feels very inspired and he's learning and davening, and his job throughout the whole day is to serve God. He's not involved in the world like we were speaking about before. Still, this person could still have bad within him, as it could be that the bad is just not active. As we said before, that during the time of davening, during the time of Kriya Shema, with his extra inspiration, it could be that the bad won't be able to be active, to express itself in his thought, speech, and action, or even to disturb him in his mind, because at those times he feels extra inspiration. So that's the idea of these people. Could be that they're fully inspired and not feel the bad within them, but it doesn't mean that the bad is not there. It could just be that it's like it's sleeping, just like when someone goes to sleep. Right afterwards it could wake up. So too over here. It could be that the bad is sleeping during the times of davening, or it could be for most of the day that the bad is sleeping. But practically it's still there deep down and still needs to be purified. And now we could also answer the question. We asked, how could Rabbah hold himself as a Beinani if he was really a Tzaddik? And the explanation is like we just said. Because Rabbah said, I'm somebody who's a Beinani, meaning I still have bad within me deep down maybe. I mean, I know the whole day doesn't disturb me. I know I'm not doing anything wrong, God forbid. He was saying Torah the entire day. But it could be I still have bad deep down within me. It could be that it's sleeping the whole day. As it says that the idea of a halavai, a person should daven the entire day. Meaning that just like a Beinani, we said that the time that he's davening, he doesn't feel the bad within him. So too it could be that he's davening the whole day, meaning he doesn't feel the bad within him the whole day because he's fully inspired about godliness the whole day. But that doesn't mean that the bad is not there. And that's why Rabbah was able to claim, even though obviously he was actually a tzaddik, but out of his humility, he could say, maybe there's still a little bit of bad within me. And therefore he could call himself a Beinani in a certain sense. And now the Alter Rebbe finishes off this Tanya with one idea. And he says that we're comparing the service of a Beinani to a Tzaddik. Someone will come to the conclusion that a Tzaddik service is true and a Beinani service is not true. Because we know that in order for something to be true, it has to be something which lasts forever. Like we see psukim that say the idea of truth is something which lasts, something which continues forever. So seemingly a Tzaddik service which is always consistent, he doesn't have any disturbances, so he could be called true. But how could a Beinani who's in the middle of davening, even if he's very inspired and doesn't feel as bad within him, how could you call it truth if at the end of the day he still has bad within him? And the Alter Rebbe says, no, I am willing to call that love within, which is in their hearts during the time of davening, also truth. Why is it truth if it's going to go away after davening? Because they're always able to re-arouse it. If they had the proper davening in the morning, they can always re-arouse it and inspire them throughout the day that they should serve God properly. So it could be that it's not the ultimate truth like a tzaddik, but on their level it's called truth. And therefore I'm willing to call it fully truth. Because we know that the idea of truth is the idea of Yaakov, which about Yaakov it says it's a pull which goes through all the levels. Mavriach min hakotze el hakotze. What does that mean? That truth is something which goes through all the different levels. Every level has a truth within it. The center, the main part of every level is called the truth of that level. And truth is a relative term. The true of you, the best that you can be. And that's what truth is over here as well. That on its level, on the level of a Beinani, this is the truest point that he could be. When he's fully inspired and fully serving God and doesn't have any disturbances at this moment, that's 100% true on his level. And that's the end of this parak where we speak about what the idea of the Beinani is and how he's on one hand like a tzaddik which doesn't do anything bad, but still he needs to think of himself as a Rasha because practically it could still be a little bit of bad within him. See you next time.